Just wanted to take a moment and welcome you to Cocalico High School's Back to School Night for spring 2021, and just wanted to share some information with you about our Algebra 1 103A course. My name is Mrs. Butz, and I will be working with you and working with your child or working with your student to do their best in Algebra 1 103A this semester. And so taking a look, this is the textbook that we use. We use the Big Ideas math textbook. And we also will be using a graphing calculator in class as well. If they have their own graphing calculator, that is really helpful to have that, especially as they will move through the math courses. So Big Ideas Math, we will cover in Algebra 103A, we will cover chapters 1 through 5. As you look at this list that we are covering, Chapter 1 is solving linear equations. Chapter 2 is solving linear inequalities. Chapter 3 is graphing linear functions. And Chapter 4 is writing linear functions. And Chapter 5 is solving systems of linear functions. So we do a lot of work with straight lines in this course, with linear equations and functions and inequalities. So they will have a good understanding of linear, the topics of linear in algebra by the end of this course. They will then look at other functions when they study Algebra 1 103B. Their course grade, 40% will come from quarter 3, 40% will come from the fourth quarter, and 20% will come from their final exam, which will be cumulative at the end of the course. Quarter grade, 60% of their grade will come from assessments. These are tests, quizzes, Schoology quizzes, projects, things like that we do throughout the semester to demonstrate our understanding of the material. And then 40% will come from daily assignments like classwork that ends up becoming homework because they haven't finished it in class. Haven't really said the word homework too much this year just because of being in our virtual or mixed situation. They're just daily assignments that we need to get done for the course. So one thing in the evenings is check with your student and see, have you finished the work that was assigned for today? And if you haven't finished that work, they should be finishing it. Every day I'll be posting in Schoology the daily assignments. If we end up needing to adjust that, I'll adjust it, but there is daily assignments. So if they happen to be absent, those daily assignments are posted every single day. Study Island assignments will also go into the daily assignments grade, except for the final post test in Study Island, that will go into an assessment grade. If you have any questions there with grades, please let me know. I do try to keep everything up to date in grades. So if they're saying something hasn't been graded, more than likely it has been graded, is what I've found out in the past. I mean, there's some things here and there, but typically I get things caught up every week so that grades are pretty close to being accurate. If there's a 0 in there, talk to them about what they need to do to make it up so that we can get that made up and improve their score. And so if you see a lot of 0s, then we need to talk about that. Study Island assignments, they can always redo those assignments to improve their score. So just to kind of keep that in mind as well. In the grade book, Study Island assignments are marked by an SI for Study Island. What do students need to do to achieve success? Well, participating in class is definitely a big thing, and participating in the activities that we're doing. Being willing to try and try your best in the information is important as well. Reviewing daily, math builds on itself. So it's important that sometimes things make complete sense when you're in class, but then when you leave class, they don't quite make as much sense. So reviewing that kind of helps keep that fresh, and then also helps you figure out what you quote understood in class but don't understand when you're not with me. So encouraging them to review daily is important. Reading the section in the book, we do have hard copies of the textbook that you can we have a classroom set that some students can take home. However, I do put the section for in Schoology with the section that we're studying so that they're not looking at the entire book. So I encourage them to look at those sections and go over those problems, as well as the videos that are posted in Schoology. There are videos done by the textbook company that go along with the examples that are in the textbook. And I would encourage them to look at those. So if they're saying, I don't understand something, ask them if they've watched those videos. Those videos are a great place to start. The other thing, because of being in the hybrid situation this past fall, we have taped video lessons for many of the topics in Algebra 1A. So if they need to hear it from someone else, often there will be a video by someone else that they will be able to listen to. And some of the videos I have done, but a mixture of us have done the videos. But there is lots of resources just in our Schoology course. The big thing also is completing the assignments and doing the best that they can. And completing the assignments doesn't mean going and finding an app and Googling it and getting the answer. Completing the assignments means actually doing the thinking ourselves and making sure that we understand the material. If they go through the process of completing the assignments, they will definitely do very well in the course, do their best in the course, because the assignments do build on each other. Also, seeking extra help. Whenever they need extra help, if you're seeing some frustration at home, encourage them to message me in Schoology, encourage them to ask me questions the next day in class. That way I can help them out. And sometimes all it takes is just sitting down and going over a couple problems together. And then they're like, oh, now I see where I was thinking about it differently, or I see where I understood it and where I didn't understand it. Communication is the big thing. They can communicate to me through Schoology. You can communicate to me through email. But if there is some confusion or frustration, definitely let me know so that we can work on building the students' confidence in their math. And the way that we build that is by answering the questions that they have and helping them with their understanding of the material. Resources for Algebra 1, I definitely encourage you to go to the Schoology course. There are lots of extra resources there in the Schoology course that they can take a look at. The other thing is completing those study island assignments. There are videos in the study island assignments and resources that way that they can use to help understand the material. That will definitely help them review. And then the other thing is nowadays you can almost Google any math term and find many interactive websites. I would encourage them to use what's posted in Schoology first, but if they need to find something else to help them out and hear it a different way, there's lots of opportunities out there for that. Feel free to contact me anytime. You can contact me by email. You can also your student can contact me through Schoology message, and then you can always make a phone call. I will say that email and Schoology message are probably the quickest way to get in touch with me. But phone call is completely fine as well. What courses should be taken next? Students often ask that, and freshman year is not too soon to start thinking about that. Even if your child's a freshman, some of the students are upperclassmen in the course. But as we look at it, the next course that you'll take is Algebra 1 103B. The course after that will be Geometry 123. Then Algebra 2 113 would follow after that, and Pre-Calc and Trigonometry. The class of 2023 and the class of 2024 need to have 3 math credits to graduate. That's our freshmen and sophomores. And our juniors and seniors will need 4 math credits for graduation. So those are some things to kind of think about. So that means Algebra 1A is 1 credit. Algebra 1B is 2 credits. It would be the 2nd credit. And then geometry would be the 3rd credit. If you're a junior or senior, Algebra 2 113 is your 4th credit. But one thing that we do encourage you to do is to look at what you're planning to do post high school, because depending on what you're planning to do post high school, you might need a pre-calc trig class. Some colleges require some trigonometry in their application for acceptance. So I know Penn State is one of those. So you want to make sure that you get to the trig class if that's what you're thinking about doing. So as you look at things, you want to do some research for post high school and find out what courses are required for what you're planning to do. If you're planning to go into a certain job, what math courses do they want you to have finished, and what math do they need you to do for that job? Some businesses do a math test just to see, can you do the math for that job that they're hiring you for. If you're going post-secondary ed, some colleges have you take a math placement test just to see, do you have the math skills necessary to take the first math course that they would have you take. And then sometimes based on acceptance, if you didn't score high enough, they require you to take and pass a math course or two before they'll accept you into the program. So just some things to kind of think about. The other thing to think about is if you're thinking about CTC or dual enrollment and things like that, your junior and senior year. CTC, they can do a half-day program their junior year and a full-day program their senior year. So those are some options that are out there for students. So just to kind of share that information, but definitely thinking about, okay, what do you want to do and how much and what math do you need to take? We also in the math department offer statistics, applied calc, and AP calculus. So if you are interested in that route, those options are there as well. Testing dates. Our final exams for second semester, first and third blocks are June 4th. Second and fourth blocks are June 7th. Right now, those finals are planned. I know we made some changes first semester this year, but right now we are planning to have cumulative finals on those days. The Algebra 1 Keystone exam will be in May. For 1A, we don't take the Keystone exam, so you'll take the Keystone exam in 1B, but just to kind of share that date to let you know that it tends to be like middle to the end of May when we take the Keystone exam. If they take 1B in the fall, the Keystone exam will be in January. And then I just want to thank you for taking the time to attend the virtual back to school night and listen to this video this evening. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in contact with me so that I can be of any assistance and answer any questions that you have for Algebra 103A and supporting your students so that they can do their best this semester. Thank you for attending.